Welcome back, you guys. Well, it is the NFL draft time. Who is your team, and who would you like to see your team actually draft? As you can tell, I've got my trusty Jaguar gear on here today, and we're picking at number 24 and see who we will be picking at 24. As we're waiting for the draft to start, um, let us know. Who do you want to pick? Who do you think will be number one? Carolina's had some time to really think about this. And we'll see who they pick. Grabber Jink, join us. If you got some questions, hit us up in the chat and let us know. Is there any possible trades that you might think that might go down that possibly anybody's thinking about? Do you think Buda Baker might get traded to Jacksonville and Jacksonville won't pick at 24? Could you see also DeAndre Hopkins getting traded to possibly Tennessee? And if Tennessee does trade boot for DeAndre Hopkins, how does that affect? How does everyone feel about the new contract of Lamar Jackson? I wonder if there's a trade clause in there or not. Uh, do you think it was a fair uh, deal? Do you think like it was good? I don't know. So let's talk about. I guess as we got some time to talk today. Let's dissect the Lamar Jackson deal. You know, making him the richest quarterback so far, and went ahead and went over Jalen Hurts. Uh, good, a good deal. I think it's a fair deal. It's kind of crazy how it went from like barely anybody, nobody asking to trade for him or offer him a new trade or deal, but seeing what he did. Um, but I don't know. I just don't know how that went. So so let's see here. Let's see what's going on the Twitter. So let's see here. So let's see here. If you're Carolina, are you sold on the quarterback that you possibly might trade for? Um, Carolina, I don't know. They've hopefully got it together finally. I don't know if they do or not. Only time will tell, and see what happens with them. Um, are you looking for any surprises? Do you think any surprises will happen in the draft today? Um, so that's my thought on that. Um, what do you think is going to happen in the draft today? Do you think the fact of Lamar Jackson getting a pick? So that's my thought on that. Something you guys want to talk about? Anything in particular? Any comments that you guys would like to talk about? Um, that's what we're here for. Let's see what's going on in the on the so let's see here. So Philadelphia. Yo, how does it go? How does it go? What do you think? What's your team gonna do? And cheers. So we'll see what these teams do today. I'm pretty excited to see how these first 10 picks will go. Are there going to be some trades that we're not sure might happen or might not happen? So Johnson Jr. for the Bears. Okay, you want to give us some insight on Johnson Jr. and why you think he'd be a good asset to the Bears? I mean, you guys did spend a lot of money getting you guys wide receiver core straight, giving Justin everything I think he possibly needs to be successful. That's what I think. I mean, it's your guys' division to lose, really. I mean, with Aaron Rodgers leaving you guys' division, I think you guys should be in a front row seat to possibly take it. Your thoughts on that? Bears need big bodies. Yeah, definitely. If you guys can keep Justin in the pocket and definitely let him do his thing, not have to run so much, maybe you guys do move on next portion there. While I got you on, what are you looking for as a under over draft or not draft, but a record going into this season with Justin and everything they've done? Lions would be the biggest treat. Yeah, especially with the Lions with the issue that they just had with the suspensions for gambling on college games. That's pretty wild, actually. As we see the commissioner speaking right now, let's see with the Chiefs and being in Chief Kingdom, like he just said, like that's kind of crazy. Them winning a Super Bowl again. So, who thinks to go number one? Will we see? Let's see what Well, the Lions, I think they might take a step back. I'm honestly just waiting to see what that he can do with some protect. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, definitely. I think definitely being with some protection. I mean, I just saw what Trevor Lawrence did with actually a competent coordinator and a competent head coach, and how that finally happened. We got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey coming on stage right now. Like it's pretty epic to have them. I just it's always nice to see how they do that. Sorry, voice Jackson, LOL. But with the Kansas City Chiefs, you think we expect them to repeat this coming year, or do you think the AFC is too deep to make a repeat? Because man, the AFC is stacked. Yeah, AFC is too stacked. Draft is open now, so let's see what Carolina does. Let's see how long it actually takes them to put it. Let's see how long it takes them to bring the pick in. As much research as they've done and everything like that, I wanted to see like how long it's actually going to take them to get it. How do you feel about the Lamar Jackson contract? Do you think it's an overpaid, or do you think they kind of just reached this due to the fact that Aaron Rodgers is now in the conference as well? Bills Cincy AFC Championship. Wow, wow. So you don't think the Panthers, Jacksonville, or Baltimore even be in that mix there? Yeah, I agree. He's definitely been banged up for sure. Yeah, I don't. If Carolina gets the pick right, I mean they've got a pretty good staff together. I think they might be all right, and their division isn't that great either. You're talking NFC South, not a great division. I mean the only competent quarterback you have in that division is Derek Carr. Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty optimistic just due to the fact because of Doug Peterson and how he was able to turn that team around so fast. Um, I mean, it went from like people calling Trevor Lawrence a bust to like, oh, he's actually a pretty legit quarterback. I was like, yeah, just give him some time, he'll be all right. But oh wow, Nick Saban's at the draft right now with his quarterback. That's kind of crazy. I got somebody saying KC trades up for a wide receiver. If Kansas City trades up for a wide receiver, that's going to be pretty rough. I don't think Patrick Mahomes needs any more weapons. I mean, Carolina with the right thing, he could do it right. It's amazing what players could do when they get this. Yeah, true facts. I'm pretty sure you heard about their kicker, how Urban Meyer kicked uh, the kicker and Josh Lambo, and he couldn't kick for the rest of the season. Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long for the first pick. As long as they've been doing this, and they were supposed to have it all put together by now. We're at like 6 minutes and like 50 seconds, and still don't know who the number one pick is. I really think the S2 test really jacked up CJ Stroud's draft stock. I don't think that did him any favors whatsoever. You scored a 19 on the exam, not good whatsoever. Yeah, dude, we're almost down to almost 5 minutes, and we still don't know who Carolina's picking. Like, how are we doing that by now? Like, really? Like, I remember when Jacksonville was on the clock just 2 years ago to grab Trevor Lawrence. Like, it was pretty seamless. Like, didn't take us a long time to figure out, like, he's the number one pick. So, unless, like, Carolina's trying to figure out, like, do like a coin toss and be like, oh, we're taking CJ Stroud or we're taking this person. Like, really? This is what we're doing? Dude, I went to the draft in 16 when it was in Chicago. Rams took the entire clock. Wow. How was the draft actually? Did you actually enjoy going to the draft actually? Did you actually like get to feel the environment of what it was like to did you feel like you were part of the draft? All right, so Bleacher Report's reporting Bryce Young just got drafted just now. Yeah. Let's see here. So I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people are nervous about his height though. Being 5'10", I don't know. I mean, but Russell Wilson, epic. I was a seat filler for NFL Network. Started in the upper deck, but a Washington pick. I was sitting in second. That's super dope. That is awesome. Being able to like do that. I had thought about possibly going. I wasn't 100% sure, and I was like, I don't know. But that's super awesome. I know I've been down to the Super Bowl experience when I was down in Miami with the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers was down there and was able to like meet a couple of players and stuff like that and got to do some of the games and things like that. So it's actually kind of nice to actually kind of do those things right before COVID hit. Sounds like a plan. I definitely look forward to that for sure. Those are cool things. So it looks like the pick is in right now. Let's see. Let's see who they're picking. Waiting on the pick. Let's see who it is. Bleacher Report reported it was Bryce Young, so I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but we're looking at it right now. Let's see here. You think you think if Carolina gets the right quarterback, they'd actually do something? You think? Because DJ Chark, I know, had a lot of success in Jackson. I was a little surprised they let him go, so I'm not sure if that was a coaching decision or if that was just whatever. Let's see who they get. Bryce Young is the number one pick. We have Bryce Young. So, are we surprised that Bryce Young is the number one pick? Oh, what's up, broski? Hey, how are you? Good to see you. We got Hill and Company Firearm Solution on. Hey, how's it going? How's everybody feel about the no shocker? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I think the S2 test I think really messed up the draft stock when it came to CJ Stroud. I think that really did him in. I mean, dude, you're talking like Bryce Young. He's gonna be 5'10". I mean, you're talking he's only 2 inches taller than me. That's a lot. Not surprised at all either. Wow. Okay, Hill Firearm says he's not surprised either. Hill, who's your team? Are you what's your team there? And don't say Carolina. Number 2 pick, Houston's going to be on the clock in just a second. Who do you think Houston's taking? All right. So does the Houston Texans trade back? Ravens. Oh, we got a Ravens fan in the house here. All right. So he's a Ravens fan. All right. Hill, what is your thoughts on the Lamar Jackson contract? Good contract, bad contract, however so. Texans are needing a quarterback, a wide receiver, or an edge rusher. If you're Houston, who do you go with? I'm not sold on these other. So with pick number 2 in Houston, I don't know if I go with the quarterback. I go with the wide receiver. Wide receiver, I think, would probably be the best because you got about Caleb Williams thinking about looking at coming out next year, and he's going to be working with the Wayne, not Wayne Kiffin, but oh, he was the head coach for the Cardinals. It's great contract. Why did it take so long to pay the man? And that's a great question. He made it difficult on himself, I think. I mean, everybody wants to say that his mom got it done. Great, but he did ask for a trade before they went back to the table, probably. So maybe Lamar. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I wonder if he has a trade clause though. That's the real kicker. Does he have a trade clause? We got to balance. I'll be back, bro. All right, sounds good. We look for you to come back, chugging. Hill, do you pass on the quarterback for number 2, or do you take a defensive player? Because Houston, are you sold on any quarterback for Houston, or you think they should either trade back and get some more picks or get a defensive player? Moore got paid. He definitely did. Who's Houston starter? Well, let's check real quick. Let's check who Houston starter is right now. I know it's David Mills. David Mills is the quarterback right now. He was a rookie last year. He did all right against Dallas. Did all right against Kansas City. So maybe he just needs some more reps and maybe some players around him. Defense has always been solid. You're talking about D'Amico Ryan. D'Amico Ryan's a solid defensive coordinator. Now he's a head coach, so obviously he's going to have that defense straight. But he's in a really tough division though too in the AFC South with Jacksonville. Tennessee's got to figure out the quarterback situation, and then you've got Indy. They might pick Will Levis is who I'm thinking they're going to pick. And then also do you take who you want to take? Texans select C.J. Stroud is what they're saying right now. Texans pick Ohio State quarterback, Heisman finalist overall. So it looks like they pick Facts need to add some more weapons around him. Yeah, because you never know what you got. I agree. It took C.J. Stroud. I'm not sure if it's a solid pick. The S2 test didn't do him any favors, but maybe D'Amico Ryan sees something, and maybe there's a lot of other situations. We got C.J. Stroud crying over here. So that's where he's at. He's going to C.J. Stroud. Yep, there he goes. There he goes, C.J. Stroud going to Houston. So let's see. So he went to Houston. So next up we got is Arizona, and Arizona is a hot mess. You got Kyler Murray that obviously is injured, not coming back till probably the end of the season, midway through the season. You got DeAndre Hopkins at once out. You want Buda Baker to safety at once out. You have J.J. Watt that just retired. You have a head coach that just left or got fired, excuse me. And you got the GM that just got fired as well too. So there's a lot of moving pieces in Arizona right now. I don't know what's the case for that, but it's a hot mess. I don't even know where they start. Arizona needs a lot. They need a lot of help. I don't know where. I don't know if they have a QB though. Yeah. So Carolina is saying they need a defensive linebacker, a cornerback, or an offensive lineman. I could say offensive lineman because it would help Kyler Murray to possibly mature and possibly move into more of a pocket passer. Offensive line I guess would help, but who do you pick at offensive lineman? Or do they just trade it? Or they trade out. If they trade out and get a couple more picks, your thoughts, Hill? Yeah. What's your thoughts on CJ Stroud getting Who's the next pick? Well, we've got Arizona's next, but Arizona needs an offensive lineman, wide receiver. I mean, Arizona's a hot mess. Quarterback's injured. DeAndre Hopkins, which is their number one wide receiver, wants out. You got Buda Baker wants out. Head coach is fired. So they got a brand new rookie head coach in. They have a GM that's brand new. And they need an offensive lineman. I think this is where you invest in offensive lineman. Yeah, definitely agree on that. I mean, you could almost if you're third pick right now, like Arizona, I would go ahead, trade back, try to get as many picks as I possibly can to go ahead and try to restructure. I mean, or do you be bold and take a quarterback? Do you believe that it would put pressure on Kyler Murray? Texans trade. So you're saying start from top, take quarterback. So are you sold on Kyler Murray? Do you think Kyler Murray's a thing? You don't think Kyler Murray's gonna last much longer? Wow, really? What? Why do you say that? Texans are back on the clock. Texans are back on the clock. So like we just talked about, they're gonna go ahead and I've foreseen RG. Wow, RG3 future. Wow, that's pretty impressive there. Yep. So Arizona's back on the clock, or not Arizona? So Arizona traded back. Houston's back in the third, on the third pick now. So we'll see who they pick now. So we got so they're predicting they're going to take Will Anderson, edge rusher out of Alabama. I mean, Alabama does have some solid defensive players, so we'll see who they pick. Texans take Will Anderson, edge rusher out of Alabama. That's who they ended up just taking. So top linebacker draft Alabama, Will Anderson. The Bam boys are like ready fresh out of school. Yeah, you're 100% right for sure, definitely. They they big time. Will Anderson is a freak of talent. So going to Houston. Good thing also too about Houston, no state taxes. So he getting all that money. All of it. Oh, what am I sipping on? Oh, we sipping on some nice bourbon here with some cherry Pepsi. Cheers, buddy. What you sipping on? Indianapolis is on the clock now. The Colts are. So I think the Colts are going to take Will Levis, quarterback. I think that's who they're taking. So Indy needs a quarterback, a cornerback, and an offensive lineman and a quarterback. So, Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey's always good though too. That's that yummy stuff. I don't think Colts need to take quarterback. I mean, they got Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew's not a bad quarterback. I'm not taking Anthony Richardson. I don't think I could see Anthony Richardson possibly going to the Steelers, Seattle, or Tennessee. Because obviously Tennessee isn't sold on Malik Willis. Do you take Anthony Richardson? We'll see. All right, picks in. Bryce Young went to number 1. He went to Carolina. Will Anderson. Becker. He'll produce immediately. Yeah, especially with that core group that he's got too. He's at a good Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is going to the Colts. Anthony Richardson is headed to so I'm going to share my screen real quick. So, share screen. So, right now we've got Bryce Young that was taken by Carolina. We got CJ Stroud that was taken by Houston. We got Arizona traded out of the third spot to Houston, and they took Will Anderson. And then now we have Indianapolis drafting Anthony Richardson out of Florida. Obviously, he's going to need a lot of work. I am not sold on him. I think he got drafted super high, but maybe because they're more concerned about of where they're at and where they sit in the division with the AFC South being with Houston, and Jacksonville and Tennessee, and kind of being at the bottom of the barrel. If you think about it, how Houston traded back in to the first round to go ahead and go get that defensive end from Alabama that we saw right there, Will Anderson, and they went and got a quarterback, C.J. Stroud, so it almost puts them back on a not a level playing field, but like create a sense of urgency to Indianapolis. But Anthony Richardson's a raw talent. I mean, I watched him play in Florida. He's going to need some work. So hopefully it works out for him. So, as we've seen, people move back and forth. That's how that went. So we got Seattle at number 5. So let's see where Seattle goes. Yeah, great pick. Yeah, I mean, freakish athlete, great athlete, but needs some help on the accuracy point and just needs help in general. But I think with some weapons and some coaching, I think he'll be fine. But Seattle's sitting in a good point because they just re-signed Geno Smith to a 3-year deal. Geno Smith played very, very well. I mean, we all know where he got drafted at when he first came in the league. So we'll definitely see where that goes. They need a defensive lineman, a wide receiver, and an offensive lineman. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, with Geno, I think they feel like they have something with Geno, so I think that could work for them. So in saying that, we'll see where what Seattle decides to do. Bleacher Report's predicting that Anthony Richardson could be next Cam Newton. I mean, Cam Newton did go to one Super Bowl, so I mean, I don't know. If you're the Seahawks, what do you take? A defensive lineman, a wide receiver, or an offensive lineman? Because we're talking about Geno Smith. Geno Smith had a great year, got into the playoffs, did pretty well. They got beat by San Francisco, but I mean, who didn't get beat by San Francisco? So, and in Seattle's division, I mean, you've got San Francisco, you've got Arizona, you got Seattle, and who else is in their division? Um, they're in the West. They're in the NFC West. So we're looking at So with the NFC West, like we're looking at here, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys so you guys see what I'm looking at as well here too. Window. There we go. All right. Allow. Oh, no thanks. All right. So you got San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles, the Rams, and Arizona. So I mean, Seattle's got some work to do. Obviously, we know San Francisco's going to come back and do what they do. So Seattle being picked at number 5, they could drop back and possibly get some more picks, or they could stay where they're at and possibly go get like an offensive lineman to help Geno, possibly, or maybe even a wide receiver. Maybe a wide receiver, just due to the fact because, you pay DJ Metcalf or DK Metcalf all that money, and possibly give him like either like a slot receiver or something like that to help him out. That's what I'm thinking. Because I mean, Arizona's not going to be. I mean, we could wash them up and put them at the bottom. Uh, the Rams, they're doing a whole reboot right now, so they've been spending a lot of money on the offensive side of the ball. Depending on how Matthew Stafford comes back this coming year for his health is probably going to be the biggest thing. And then along with San Francisco as well, their quarterback controversy and what's going on with them. They don't have a quarterback technically right now due to the fact because of Jimmy G leaving and going to the Raiders, and you also have Brock Purdy that is out and it needs. So if they do something with it, I think it'd be all right. So that's how that would work. Get that man some protection. Yeah, either a solid offensive line or a quick, speedy slot receiver. I think would do him well. What about the Alabama linebacker Jalen Carter is possibly getting drafted? The pick is in for Seattle. So let's see who they get. And all right, let's see who they pick. It's in. So NFL Plus is saying that Devin Witherspoon is possibly going to get picked up, but let's see if they don't go get Jalen Carter from Alabama or from Georgia. So we're waiting to hear what it is in just a second. But I agree with you, Hill. I think an offensive line would help out Geno, unless they plan on doing some type of free agency. Witherspoon, Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois is the one that just got picked up. So we're talking Devin Witherspoon. So Devin Witherspoon. So this is Devin Witherspoon right here. So this is Devin Witherspoon here out of Illinois. 22 years old. He's from Pine Forest High School. Played at University of Illinois. He's 5'11", 180 pounds. Let's see what his draft prospect was. So they're saying his grade average is a 6.47. He played all 4 years in Illinois, which is great. So that's his production score at the Columbine. He ranked third out of all cornerbacks, and then his athleticism is top 25. Cornerback score together is an 84. So his strengths are allowed to. These are his strengths right here. Impressive route recognition and trigger on the follow. Eyes are probing from off coverages, well balanced, defending high and low. Let's see what his weaknesses are. Can be a jab stepped off, balanced by release fakes, coverages from very hindsight, sluggish to transition hips, and match route. So, but we all know how that's going to go. So Detroit is on the clock. Detroit's needing a defensive lineman, defensive back, and a tight end. So you'll get Jalen Carter. Now we know Jalen Carter had some issues in Georgia after the championship for that car accident that he did have for potential racing on that portion there. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out for them. But maybe the Lions are able to take a risk on him. I'm not sure. Jalen Carter, if he's going to get picked at number 6. So let's do a quick draft recap as we're waiting on the Detroit Lions to make a selection here. So let's go back and so you had Bryce Young go to Chicago. You had C.J. Stroud go to Houston. You had Arizona trade out of the 3rd pick. Houston takes that pick, gets Will Anderson, linebacker from Alabama. You have Indianapolis. The Cardinals trade up to number 6 overall with the Lions. So it looks like just now that they just traded and went back to number 6. So it looks like Arizona just traded number 6 pick back in. Man, we are getting kind of crazy with this. Let's see what happens. Yes, it is. Cardinals are back on the clock. So So let's see here. Arizona now is in the sixth pick. So the Lions traded out, and now the Arizona Cardinals are back on the clock at number 6. So we're talking defensive linebacker, cornerback, or offensive lineman is who they're taking. And now we're back to Kyler Murray's situation here, as we all know that, like, I wonder what they traded first off, but then also too, like, what are we doing in Arizona? Like, I mean, we're not sold on Kyler Murray, obviously. We know he's not gonna. I don't think he is the guy to bring Arizona in, but they're saying it's like Paris Johnson is who they're saying. So the pick is in for Arizona. Let's see if they went defense. I think they did. Um, let's see what he does. Arizona is picking. Arizona picks. Arizona picks. In Paris Johnson Jr. So we're looking at Paris Johnson Jr. here. So Paris Johnson Jr. So they went ahead and took a offensive tackle. So like we talked about, maybe Seattle should went this route and got an offensive tackle for Geno, but it didn't happen. But you're looking at 6'6", 313, and we got a massive hands and arms. Overall, overall great scores that he does have here. Broad jump is a 9.2, but Jesus, bench press 29 times 225. That is wild. So this is what we're looking at for strengths. Kind of straight up. Yep. That's where we're sitting at. That's what we're looking at right now, gents. The Raiders, man, the Raiders. I don't know what we're doing with the Raiders. Alrighty, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in tonight and checking out with me and hanging out as we went through the draft and see how everything's going. But let us know down in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. And let us know what you guys' thoughts are. And thanks, you guys, for just tuning in. Appreciate it.